Let's talk to Sam Armstrong, political consultant with the Free Speech Union, because on the page 2 of The Sun and of all sorts of other papers as well is America's fear, and J.D. Vance has been echoing this, America's fear that basically Britain has got serious restrictions on free speech, particularly in the past year since the Labour government have been in charge. Sam, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
We know that J.D. Vance is a great supporter of freedom of speech, and he, I think, said it to Keir Starmer when he was in the White House, that he was a bit worried about it. And Starmer, of course, has repeatedly tried to claim that, you know, oh, we've got plenty of free speech in Britain, you know, we've had it for hundreds of years. He's lying, though, isn't he? Because, once again, he's not telling the truth. We don't have free speech in this country.
Yeah, he can claim what he likes, but since he's got into office, he's busily gone about sending the cops after anybody that's expressed a view that dissents from his worldview, whether that's on Twitter, whether that's on WhatsApp groups with other parents, or whether that's now on the internet, which Keir Starmer and his Science and Technology Minister, Peter Kyle, seem to want to police from top to bottom. And, you know, you've got to ask why, because this is hugely expensive, and it is now manifesting itself into the next stage, which is turning the UK into a literal international pariah. These foreign warnings are usually reserved for China or Iran or Russia, but instead he's turning the UK into a joke. And the only reason I can ascertain for why he might be doing this is to suck up to a certain constituency in this country that he feels will be encouraged by him going after the free speech of those with common sense views, and encouraged by not standing up for British Jews.
Yeah. Well, and is this all about, as well, their kind of obsession, if you like, and I'm told that they're still chasing it down, with trying to identify what Islamophobia is and trying to give a definition of what Islamophobia is, so they can actually stop us from even discussing certain parts of one particular religion? Yeah,
well, let's be clear. Keir Starmer, by the end of this year, has set about coming up with a new blasphemy law for this country, and it's only going to apply to one religion, Islam, and you simply will not be able to criticise Islam in this country if the Prime Minister, and indeed his Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, get their way. And I can tell you, because I've spoken to people who were there with him this week, J.D. Vance was very, very, very concerned to hear that the UK was pushing ahead with an Islamophobia definition. And if we do, I really think that our trading relationships, our military alliance with the US is in jeopardy. They are not mucking around here. They are really concerned that the UK, which for centuries has been a beacon of freedom, the home of freedom of speech, is being dragged down into the status of a kind of tin pot dictatorship.
Yeah. Because it's not clear, really, in many ways and in many parts of this country, what it is that you can be arrested for, right? I mean, I have these conversations on a pretty much regular basis, right? I was listening to Ian Collins yesterday talking about facial recognition and how important that's going to be in the future for police work, right? But also how dangerous it's going to be, because the police could invent a new crime which may or may not be a crime until you face justice for it, but which they think is something they can arrest you for, and if they recognise your face, they could literally just take you off the streets.
Yeah, and it's getting worse every day. I mean, I was in Margate on Tuesday, where the local Labour Council, and dozens of local Labour councils have done this, have introduced a ban on swearing, have introduced a ban on humiliating people. So if your show, Mike, was broadcast... If your show was broadcast from Margate and you had some numpty lefty come on and make a fool of himself, and you humiliated him, you'd be up before the beaks and be given £100 fine. Right. This is a Labour Party that seems to be absolutely determined to set the parameters for what is and isn't acceptable conversation in the country.
Right, but this is the thing. You know, Lucy Connolly obviously is the touch point for all of this, and she's got a picture in the Sun with the piece today. She's supposedly getting out on the 21st of August. But, you know, she has been in prison for the best part of, you know, nearly 3 years for something that she wrote on a social media account. And it doesn't really matter what she said. The point is that would never happen in America. And when we started looking into what was going on in Epping, when people were turning up to have, you know, demonstrations about the migrants in the hotel there, the Bell Hotel, it turned out that the Essex police arrest, and I'm sorry for the weird number, but it's something like 1.4 people a day for some kind of speech crime.
Yeah, and Lucy Connolly, never forget, grooming gang perpetrators, people that organised mass industrial-scale child rape in this country have received lower sentences, less time in prison than Lucy Connolly for one misguided tweet, which was wrong, but was deleted swiftly. And our justice system is attempting to send a message, because that is really what the justice system is about. It's sending a message. And the message is very clear. If you've got these views, if you dissent from this government on its migration policy, on what it's doing to clamp down on the fact that we've got 1.2 foreigners claiming benefits in this country, if you've got views on these topics, if you've got views on how your community is getting policed, if you speak out, if you cross the line, if you stand up to us, we are coming for you, and the police work for us, and we will get you, and we will send you to jail for longer than we are those people that are committing the crimes in your neighbourhood.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? Let's have a look at what Starmer said to Donald Trump when he was in Scotland just the other week.
Well, free speech is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but
we've had free speech for a very, very long time here, so we're very proud of that.
He's such a... I can't say the word, I'm going to get in trouble. But he just talks absolute cobblers, doesn't he? We're very proud of it. He's not proud of it. He's locked people up for saying things.
Free speech has been safe in this country for the best part of 500-600 years. It was right up until the inhabitants of 10 Downing Street changed to Keir Starmer, in which he used all of his knowledge, all of his experience that he developed as Director of Public Prosecutions last year to clear 500 people out of prison, to move in people that posted tweets, Facebook posts, messages on social media. And at the Free Speech Union, we've represented 3,500 people that have found themselves sacked, found themselves facing police action, found themselves hauled before the courts for expressing their free speech. And time again, it's speech in one direction and one direction only. Do you know what? I'd understand it a little bit if, you know, you saw lefties up all the time for expressing support in favour of this or that fashionable cause. You don't. It is one directional justice. You might even say it's all a bit two-tier.
It is a bit two-tier, isn't it? Absolutely right. Sam, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Sam Armstrong there, political consultant with the Free Speech Union. I mean, I don't know what Keir Starmer thinks he's doing. I don't know what planet he thinks he's on. I don't know what truth he thinks he's giving out. But certainly when he says, well, we've had free speech in this country for a very long time, we're very proud of that, well, he's talking absolute rubbish, isn't he? He's dismantling it single-handedly. We know what he's doing. We see what he's doing. It's very obvious what he's doing.